Okay.
Hi everyone.
everyone.
Hi everyone. Welcome and thank you all so much for joining today's session. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and for some of you, even good night, as we have people joining from all over the world. Thank you again, everyone, for joining and being here with us. Special thanks to the APAC communities joining this webinar in such late hours. Um, my name is Tamar, and I am part of the communities team. I'm responsible for the localization community and for some of the APAC communities together with Dana, who is here with us today. Hi, Dana. If you would like to say hello.
Hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here with you today.
Great. Thank you, Dana. And while we still wait for everyone to join, please let us know if you can hear us well. We wrote down a few common issues and ways to solve them in case you can't hear us so well. So please go over them in case you're having some sound issues. Okay, and if you're still experiencing some issues with the sound, you have a dial-in option in case your internet goes down or if anything happens, and you will be able to find all the details and information about it in the handout section right beside the chat. Okay, so I want to remind everyone of our webinar etiquette. Please be kind to one another. We might have new people joining the webinar, so no question is too basic or no comment is too obvious. Please feel free to ask any questions, and please let's try to be polite and kind to one another. In the last session, we made an experiment and we used the slides Q&A to allow you to ask questions. And after the great success, I mean, most of you guys answered in the last session survey that you prefer the slides Q&A as opposed to the big marker Q&A, we will keep on using the slides Q&A for this session as well. So you can find the link where you can ask your question in the chat tab. So please feel free to open a new tab to submit and see the question. And as usual, when the webinar ends, please don't close the tab. It will turn into a survey and we always appreciate your feedback. So please take a few minutes to complete it at the end of this webinar. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with the office hour. So today's session will be entirely led by the community team. We don't have any external guests, so it's an in-house session. We will start with me sharing and showing the global editor survey results, and then we will have Dana talking about the forum revamp, which is super exciting, and we've been all waiting for it. Okay, so let's start with the 2020 Editors Community Survey, the results. So hi everyone again. My name is Tamar. I'm going to present myself for whoever don't know me yet. I'm part of the communities team and I'm responsible for the APAC communities together with Dana. And I'm also the POC for the localization community, which gave me the opportunity and the chance to get to know some of you from all over the world. I'm very happy and excited to be hosting this office hour. And today I'm going to talk about and present you the 2020 Editor Survey results. As many of you might know, we sent the second edition of our editor survey at the end of June, and I'm excited to share with you what we learned from it. I'm just gonna turn off my camera because I think I'm having some internet issues. Just 1 second. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay, so I was saying I'm very excited to share with you the survey result and what we learned from it. This survey is super important to us. It helps us understand what are the areas where we need to improve we need to improve, what are your feelings with everything that revolves around our community, how satisfied you are with it, and it really allows us to take your feedback, learn, and constantly improve the community experience. Last year was the first year we sent out the survey, and it's also very interesting to see and compare the results from this year's survey and last year's survey. Okay, so this year we had a total of 1,482 responses from all of you from all over the world. I will take the opportunity to say a huge thank you. It really means a lot, and we appreciate the time and the dedication you put in answering the question in the survey. And as I said, your voice and your answer will allow us to constantly learn and understand where we need to put our efforts to improve. So thank you again for answering the questions with such honesty and taking the time to do it. So the 1,482 responses came from people editing in 107 countries. If you remember, we asked you in what country did you edit most in the last year, and not for your origin country. This was super interesting for us to see that our editors community edit in 107 countries. So during last year's survey, we asked you guys your origin country, and we got a total of 33 origin countries. This means that there is a huge difference and gap between the number of countries our community comes from and the number of countries our community edits. And this was actually super interesting to see, because it kind of also confirms the need of the community booster role that we recently launched, in which an experienced editor becomes a booster for a country far away from home, and his main mission is to build a community in that country. So here you can have a sense of what countries are being edited by our community. The countries in blue are the countries in which there is editing activity, and the shades of blue represent how many responses we got from that country. As you can see, we cover almost the whole world. And our top 3 countries did not change from last year. The country with the most editing activity is the US, followed by Brazil and France. Okay, so we asked you guys for your level. And as you can see here, the level distribution is quite uniform, with a slightly less response from level 6, which makes sense because it's the top editing level, so it kind of makes sense. But it's nice to see that the results that I'm going to share with you, because I'm going to share with you the global results today, are not too much reflective of one specific level, but it really gives us a whole community representation. And this year, we asked whether you were promoted to a higher level in the last year. This is a new question, and it was important to us in order to see how dynamic our communities are. One of the main feedback from last year's survey was that the community is not dynamic enough. So we wanted to measure this metric in this year's survey. Regarding the editing and forum activity, I'm happy to see that 67% of our community edit on a daily or weekly basis, which is great. Thank you so much for doing that. 15% edit a few times a month, and 18% edit significantly less frequently. Regarding the forum activity, we were very happy to see that almost 39% visit the forum on a daily or weekly basis, and we hope that with the forum revamp, we will keep increasing this number and make the forum easier and more useful and more resourceful for everyone. Okay, so this year we ask for your preferred way to contribute to the community and your main source of getting information. Last year, these questions were multiple choices, so you could choose more than one of the responses to know if you had to choose one of the answers, which one you would choose in order to get a little bit more insights about these questions. Well, it's not a surprise that the vast majority of you prefer to contribute by adding and verifying the information in the map. We're talking about the editors community here. And of course, your main source of information is your local community communication channels. But we were very happy to see that the forum is up next with almost 32% of the people who answered that the forum is the main source of information. Okay, so the answer to this question, of the motivation question, is very similar to last year. Altruism is the first motivator, and fun is the second one. So last year, we had something like 70% of the people who answered that altruism is their main motivation. And this year, we have 65%. So we have kind of 5% difference. And this year, the percentage of people answering editing the map is fun rose by 3%. So I hope this means that that we made the WME experience a little bit more fun to everyone. Okay, so, and we had also a series of satisfaction questions, with 5 being the greatest level of satisfaction and 1 for being the least level of satisfaction. The first question was about your general satisfaction within the Waze community. And I'm really happy to see that the vast majority, almost 84 or 85% of you, answered that they're very satisfied with the community, answering 4 and 5s. And to the question, how satisfied you are with the WME experience, also we had great results. So I'm pretty happy to see these positive results. Also to the rest of the satisfaction questions, like how satisfied are you with your community manager communication, your community manager transparency, and your local leadership. You can also see that the results are pretty positive. Of course, there is room for improvement. There is always room for improvement, and that's why we are actually constantly asking for your feedback. Okay, this is maybe the most interesting slide, and it addresses the open question that we asked in the survey. So those questions may be a bit harder to analyze and to show on a graph, but it was very important to us to give you a voice and allow you to say whatever you thought was important for us to know. So I tried to categorize all your answers into themes, and I reported here the top 3 recurrent ones. So these are the top 3 themes or lessons that we can take from the survey. So the first lesson or the first recurring theme is everything that has to do with ranking up, which is too hard for new editors. But we also got some more experienced editors saying that promotion from level 3 on should be a little bit more transparent. The second recurring theme was everything that has to do with the WME experience and how to improve it, especially integrating the WME scripts to our latest versions release, and integrating a mobile experience. In one of the previous office hours, we had Rafa Cohen, our head of product, addressing some of these questions. And also the latest office hours we had with Talia, the WME product manager. So that was really interesting and really insightful. So I really strongly recommend everyone to see the recording in our Wizard to Wizard site. And the third top lesson was about improving the mentoring and resources for new editors. So these, again, are the top 3 lessons that we can take from the survey, and it gives us some thoughts and some work to do. Okay, so last year top lessons were a bit different, and I'm happy that they were different because it means that we actually did some things to address 2019 top lessons. So the first lesson from 2019 survey was that the ways that local leadership should be more proactive and more dynamic. So we kind of addressed this issue by doing a general role cleanup this year to allow the community to be a bit more dynamic. The second top lesson, 2019 top lesson, was that community managers should have more interaction with the broader community. So we tried to address this issue organizing local and global office hours like this one to improve our interaction and communication with the community. And the third 2019 top lesson, which is still a pressing issue, is about new editors that should have more editing resources, and progressing within the community is too hard. So we're going to try to find more ways to improve on this front this year. It's also important to celebrate successes, and we received a ton of positive comments, which were really nice to read and heartwarming. So thank you for all the positive comments. And for us, this is a huge success. Positive comments were actually one of the 3 top recurring themes, but I did not include them in the lesson because, well, it's not really a lesson, but it's also important to mention that we had a lot of nice and positive comments, and this is really rewarding to us. And thank you again, everyone. Okay, so what's next? We will discuss the feedback internally and the top lessons internally and come up with relevant action items on how to address them. And of course, please keep sharing your feedback and your opinion. If you have something to say, don't wait for next year. We always are here to listen and to hear what you have to say. So thank you all, and I'm passing the mic to Dana. Dana? Maybe Mauro, you wanna try to jump in? Okay, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry about that. It's a little bit slow when unmuting. Anyway, thank you very much, Tamara. I think that was a fascinating presentation. And hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's really a pleasure to have all of you here. And it's really awesome that we get to just have us today, just the community related members. So today we're going to discuss the Forum Revamp project. I know this is something that you've all been waiting for. So let me just quickly introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dana Pianica. I'm one of the team managers on the communities team. And I specifically lead those who manage the European communities, the APAC communities, and also the localization community, which is something Tamar mentioned before. I'm also a community manager myself for the APAC communities together with Tamar. All right, so back to the forum. Many of you have been asking for the forum to be revamped for a few good years now. And we're really happy to update you that this is finally officially kicking off. We had a lot of discussions with champs from different countries to better understand what are the various needs that are coming from the community. And I think that the main request that came from the community is that you'd like to stay on PhpBB. For those of you who are not familiar with it, this is basically the platform our forum is based on. So the request was very clear, along with some other needs that came up, a lot of requirements that you guys brought up. And we took all of them into consideration. So I'd like to talk to you today a little bit more about all of that. So firstly, let me tell you a little bit about the team who's involved with this project. So first of all, we have OpenFox. OpenFox is a third-party company that's also in charge of Wikipedia. Some of you may know them from that project. They will take ownership of the forum revamp project. We have a really good experience working with them. We're seeing, great results so far with the Wikipedia, and so we're really happy to continue in that direction. We also have Talia Zeligman, who is the product manager. You guys know her. She's the product manager for the WME and also for Wikipedia, and she will manage the forum revamp together with the Waze developers. We also have Mauro Munero and Shira Kovalu from the communities team. You guys all know them. They will lead the project and will be your point of contact. So it's actually Shira that should have been here today to present this to you, but she couldn't, which is why I'm here. I'm representing her. And just basically, she was the one who was supposed to tell you about everything that she's done and been doing for this project. So also huge thanks to Shira for her work on this so far. We also have UI, UX teams, developer teams, product designers. Basically, everyone is on board to ensure that the launch of this new and improved project, this forum, happens during early 2021. So all of these people are super dedicated to the project, and we have a lot of resources invested in this. So we hope to see a lot of good results here. All right, so what is actually going to happen next? All right, so first of all, we plan to upgrade the current forum version to the latest PhpBB version with full content migration. So the looks of things and the options that will be available to you will be improved, but there won't be any content that's missing. So all of it is going to transfer together with the new form. It's all going to be there. The next thing is that the looks of the forum will be a lot more modern. It's going to be a lot more relevant. I think we all know that the forum looks kind of old-fashioned now. And we will eventually present to you a more user-friendly forum skin. We're also aiming to have mobile support for this forum. I know this is something that you've been waiting for a really long time. Everything will also be aligned with the new Waze branding. Another phase in phase one is that as a result of the upgrade, the user experience of writing content should be easier. So it's not really just the looks of things, it's the use of extensions that we're going to implement, all kinds of extensions that are basically available on PhpBB. They will offer us improved functionality. So I'll give you an example. Keyboard, for example, will improve. So you won't need to use coding anymore when you want to get your post up there. No need to use tags. Instead, it will offer something like what you see is what you get type of text box. So I think this is a huge improvement. This is really big and very like 2020. It's good time for that. In addition, we also plan on having a better way to manage attachments. So again, there won't be any need to use code or tags or anything like that when you're adding these attachments. So basically similar to how you maybe add links to docs, that's kind of how we plan on doing this here as well. So once the dev work is complete, we will give you basically, the community and more specifically the dedicated alpha group time to test it out and basically see what's going on in the new and improved forum. The alpha group already exists, but is also open for others to join. So we welcome you to join this alpha group. I think it's a great opportunity to help us to share your feedback and basically ensure that things are working as intended the way that you want them to. We will also be sharing a link to the alpha group form, so please feel free to fill it out. Mara will be sending it in the chat group, in the chat box itself. So I do want to remind you that, like I said before, the content remains exactly the same. It's the same environment, but the functionality and the looks will be different. There's going to be a lot of UI and UX work involved here. We want to make sure that the forum is more welcoming to new users. I think that right now it's not super welcoming. It's a little bit confusing. And we want new users to feel very comfortable as they try to find their way around the forum. If they want to ask questions, if they want to read things and try to understand. So this is definitely one of the goals of the new forum restructure. All right, so let me show you a little example of a few mockups that we created. I do want to say and make it very clear that this is not final. These are just a few examples. So let me go ahead and start. Here's a good example of what our main page is going to look like. You can see that it looks a lot cleaner, it's more organized, a lot more user-friendly, I would say. So just one of the examples out there. Another example is the subforum page. So you can see it includes the different, I don't know if you can see, I hope that you can see it's a little small, but it shows the different forums at the top and then the different topics at the bottom. And then also, this is what a topic is going to look like. This is a page for a specific topic where the discussion is taking place. So again, it's not necessarily what things will look like. It's just a general idea of things looking cleaner, newer, and more fitting to the time. So the estimated date for actually releasing this new forum to beta is Q1 2021. But with that being said, please keep in mind that, this has been an unusual year, and it's just an estimated date, so no guarantees just yet. And this is referring to the first phase of launching this to beta, which is the plan here. All right, I also want to talk to you a bit about what will not happen during this this forum revamp, or at least with these two first phases. So the first thing that we don't plan on having is a dedicated chat solution. It will not be developed during the forum revamp. Our dev teams are working on creating like a single chat solution that will be deployed across support, the WME, and of course the Waze forum. I don't have an exact timeline for you, but this is definitely in the plans right now. And so that's why we're not going to develop anything specific for the forum. And another thing that we're not going to invest in at the moment is the search functionality. It's not part of the two first phases. We know this is a real need, but improving the search functionality will require a lot of work. So we will definitely look at it at a later time, but we're going to start with what I explained before, and afterwards we're going to look into adding more options. So phase two is basically all about beta testing. This is when we will open this feature for the wider community to test, after which we will have some time set aside for OpenFox, the third-party company that's handling this project, to fix bugs and review all your feedback. And once those are resolved, we will go live to production quickly after. We are hoping for that to happen also around Q1 2021. So we don't want to give too much time for the beta testing. We're looking at something along the lines of 2 weeks or so, and then the bugs as well. It could change, of course. So this is pretty fluid. But we'll be sure to update you on all these upcoming phases just as we get closer to the relevant dates. I do want to really stress out that there's no guarantee. Anything could change. We don't know how COVID might impact everything that is going on. But we're still aiming for Q1 2021 with both phases. So basically, we have a new group in the Waze forum itself to discuss the beta and the reorganization of the forum. As we're revamping it, I think it's a good opportunity for you guys to join this forum. And I added this just something that you can scan, and you will get the forum. And also, I hope that Mauro shared it in the chat as well. And we'll also share it later on. But if anyone wants to join, any of the initiatives that are currently going on around the forum, feel free to fill out the form and join our efforts. And you will be also added to the group once you fill out the form, the forum group, where you will see all the discussions around this. We also found that a lot of people from the community have actually managed forums and are familiar with PhpBB. So, we're working with a lot of knowledgeable people from within the community. I think it's a powerful combination of both Waze knowledge and forum management knowledge. So it's like really amazing. And the last thing that I really want to say is just take a moment to thank you guys for your amazing contribution, your feedback, your recommendations. Honestly, we would not have done this without you. We took all of your feedback into consideration, and we will continue the mutual decision-making process around the forum during the next few months. So thank you very much. a couple of small updates is that the survey, the survey that you will receive, that Tamar mentioned earlier, won't have a registration link for our next office hours, because we're going to have some holidays here in Israel, but we do plan to come back with a brand new office hour edition on October 11th. And I'd also like to invite Mauro to join us for the Q&A session. He will be moderating the questions going forward.
Thank you, Dana, and thank you, Tamar. Like, these are definitely some great news, I think, that we have for today. Before we go on the Q&A session, I would like to remind everyone to ask any of the questions that you have at the link that starts with slides.app, that it appears on the top of the chat. We will now be going over them. So you're more than welcome to ask any of your questions there. So let's start with it. All right, so I think that you should be able to see my screen, and we will go with the first question, which is it possible for the level 3 and upper having an option to receive the list of new editors in his or her area and receive a notification in the feed if it is possible? Tamar, are you hearing me? Would you like to take this one? Let me see.
Guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes. I think that, Tamar, you might need to enable your mic. Okay. I think we can.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So regarding this question, of course, your coordinator or the coordinator of the country have and receive or should receive the high volume reports with new editors joining and starting editing in the country or in the area, or if you have states, then in your state, which can be kind of an area. I would use also here the mentoring tool, which kind of shows you new editors coming and editing around you. We are trying to improve this tool, or we're trying to improve the resources. But this, I guess, it's what I can suggest for now. If Dana wants to add anything else.
I'm not sure you can hear me. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Sorry, I keep getting, okay, good. Yeah, I think this is definitely something that is possible. If you have a specific interest, feel free to reach out to your community manager or your community representative from within the community. We're happy to try to get you some information. It's also, a great opportunity to try and join the mentoring program if you want to mentor other people in your area. This is also a great opportunity to do that. You'll be able to see who are the people in your area that might need mentoring. You'll be able to see who are like level 1 editors, new editors. So I think it's really a nice, it's also a nice way to approach this.
Think about that, and we'll move to the next question, which is the new PhpBB forum message system improved over the current? The current forum message system leaves a lot to be desired.
So it's not something that we're focusing on right now. I think that if this is something that you guys are interested in and you want us to focus on this, it would be interesting to hear your feedback, more around what you would expect to see in here, what kind of improvements. I agree with you. There's definitely a lot of things that can be done there. We'd love to hear from you. And Will, specifically, I see that you were the one to submit this question. If I could offer you to join, I don't know if you, perhaps you're already there, but fill out the form and join our alpha group, or just to discuss the forum. We'll be able to add you to the forum itself, to the group within the forum, and hear you out a little louder about what type of things you'd like to improve. Like I said, these are just the first phases. We're definitely looking into improving this even further. And so that is why we do plan on having additional discussions around the forum and what can be done.
Thank you, Dana. And we'll move to the next one. Please consider to provide a set of signature badges matching the rebranding. It's really great to hear about the rebranding. Dana, please, if you'd like to take it.
Okay, so you would like to have badges matching the rebranding. I think that's a really cool idea. If you could maybe share some ideas with us, I think we can definitely take this as an idea for improvement, or just like kind of like a feature request. Maybe, Mauro, can you write this down?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely,
okay.
We will follow up on this one.
Okay, I do want to say though that there's a lot of work around rebranding happening on our team. Anat is focusing on that, and so I think this is definitely something we can pass by her as well and see if this is something she can help with.
Thank you. Will the new PhpBB forum be compatible with the Tapatalk app, which is I know that it's a very popular app that you guys use for those of you, for the audience who is not aware of what Tapatalk is an app that integrates different messaging systems and that also enables you to have access to what's posted in the forum from your mobile phone. So I have some of like a little answer to give about this, but if you would like to add something as well, Dana, please interrupt me. So I think that there are two kind of answers for these questions. Traditionally, the use that you've given to Tapatalk is because the forum was just not compatible with mobile. So that's number one. And in our roadmap for this first phase of the revamping of the on the forum is that we will make the forum available it will include mobile support. The second thing is that although we are not familiar on the integration between PhpBB and Tapatalk, and we cannot like it's not an app that we have any kind of development or influence over, but I can say that we're not moving away from the current system that we're using. It's still PhpBB, so in theory it should still be compatible. We're just upgrading. We're doing a lot of changes, but like some of these changes involve upgrading to the most recent version. So that's, in my opinion, the behavior that we should have. Do you, Dana, have anything to add about it, or should I move to the next one?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. So let's move on to the next one.
Sure.
Thank you, Mauro.
A detailed instructional video for new editors would be nice, rather than just directing them to the Wikipedia pages to read through. Is there a plan for these to be created?
Yes, there is. So yes, this is something that our team is working on. I think I agree with you. This is something that is crucial. It's needed. New editors need this. So yeah, this is something that that the team is working on. It's going to be part of a mentoring kit that we plan on releasing. So yeah, I agree with you. It's not always ideal to send them to Wikipedia, but we would also hope for these videos to also appear in Wikipedia.
Yeah, and if I can add something here, Dana.
Sure.
We already hosted some WME beginners masterclass led by Maya and Anat and Leo in English and in Italian, and we are planning to do some more in other languages. So we hope that also this will help new editors to get familiar with WME and our tools.
Thank you. Next question is, the number of new editors has declined significantly in my part of the US, Northern California. What is being done to entice new users and help retain them?
Okay, so retaining new editors or new people joining the community is one of the top 3 lessons that we are taking on ourselves from the survey. So it's definitely something that we are aware of, and it's definitely something that we are going to try to address and to tackle. So it's definitely something that we need to put on some thought and try to find a creative way to help retain new editors. But I hope that with the master classes and with the videos and by improving the mentoring program, we are going to already improve the retention for new editors.
Thank you. Next question is, one of the most difficult things is searching for relevant posts. Will these improve?
So Bill, thank you. I think it's a really good question. I totally agree with you. Trying to find something in the forum is exhausting. However, as mentioned in the presentation as well, at this time, we're not planning on investing resources in improving the search functionality for now. So this is something that we are going to look into as a next phase. But there's a lot of investment that needs to be done here, and we want to release something to you. We want to come to you with something. So for the first 2 phases, which is all the new items that I mentioned earlier, like extensions that are being added or a new skin, releasing all of these new things to alpha and then beta and production. These are the things that we're focusing on now, adding this to mobile. For now, the search is not something we're going to focus on, but it is something that we plan on focusing on later on. I hope this answers. Yeah.
Thank you. Next up is, will the new PhpBB upgraded forum still have all the community birthdays listed on the bottom? We have a birthday team that utilizes this info to wish everyone a happy birthday on their daily Discord and their forum private message, I guess.
Private message, yeah. Okay, actually, I love that. I wasn't familiar with that. As far as I know, all the information that is currently available, all the content, everything will move to the new forum. I can't say for sure that this is going to move as well, but I'm going to check this afterwards and make sure that this is something that can move as well, and we will keep you updated. But I agree, this is like really, really cute and amazing. So I think it's definitely something that has a lot to do with the culture of the forum and the community, and definitely something we'd like to keep.
Absolutely. Where can we find all the Q&A responses from previous webinars? So I like to take this one as a taken part in this one as well. So we do send follow-ups for the previous sessions. Some of them might take us a little bit longer to come up with, but basically it's posted in the same announcement forum post where the original session was announced. So you will be able to find them there as we are advancing with the follow-ups. Some of them are suffering a little bit of delay because there are some internal information that we need to gather. So we apologize about these, but we definitely post them, and you can see them in the announcement, in the very own announcement in the forum. Is the alpha group for new editor open to anyone?
Yes, it is open to anyone who has had at least some experience. I think even having a new editor join and kind of have a fresh set of eyes looking at everything, I think it would be interesting. So if you'd like to join the alpha group and you're a new editor, please feel free. We're open to having you there and to join the group. I think, any way you'd like to contribute is amazing, and we appreciate it. So yeah, so definitely fill out the form and join us.
Thank you. Is linked lane guidance going to be a feature in the future? For example, drivers need to be in the center right turn lane to get to a quick left turn pocket. Will these junctions be able to be linked so that the first lane guidance is dependent on the second turn instruction? I'm not sure about this this answer. If anyone has this information, we can address it now. Otherwise, we can definitely include it for the next for the follow up in the follow up of this session. As I see that we have plenty of questions for about the forum itself, but I will allow 2 seconds if any of you have any contribution to make about this one.
Okay, just I don't know if Dalia wants to comment anything, but it is the preferred lane guidance solution, and it's probably planned for the next phase. It is going to take resources to develop this, so yeah, a next phase.
Thank you. Next question is coordination between Discord and the forum. I'm just going to give my input about this one. I know that there is, and please feel free to take over, Dana, if you like it. But again, it's. I know that there is a robot that, or kind of a bot that makes the integration between these 2 platforms. In theory, it's the same. We're not moving away from PhpBB. It's the same platform. It's just a newer and fresher version of PhpBB. So in theory, it shouldn't change the behavior. But I will let you add anything you might have, Dana.
Yeah. So there was actually some discussion around adding the Discord. We know that a lot of communities are using Discord channels, and so we do see the value of kind of integrating them or setting some sort of like you said, coordination between them. I don't think this is in the plan right now, but it's something that we did bring up. So let me check this after to see where this stands, and we can get back to you.
Thank you. Is PhpBB the best platform? Is there nothing in your parent company program pool that could make the transition easier and more cross-platform friendly?
Okay, yeah, this is a good question. I have to say that this is not the first time that we're trying to improve our forum experience. We've had some tries before, and we have come to the conclusion that PhpBB really is the best solution for us. This is after consulting a lot of experienced community members, and it was really, I would even say, one of the demands that came from this. We invested a lot of time and effort in other programs or platforms, and it didn't really work out. And we, at the end of the day, we want to be able to provide you with a real upgrade, something that really answers the needs that you're bringing up to us. And I can even see, a lot of new ideas that are coming up even now in this 1 hour session. So yes, I do think PhpBB is the best platform after truly looking into this, from every possible direction. But thank you. It really is a good question.
Thank you, Dana. Any news regarding the junk single colored pictures in new places? I'm not very familiar with this.
Me neither.
I'm not exactly sure. Junk single colored pictures. I'm not super sure what this means.
Yeah. So
perhaps
Yeah, if
Yeah.
and it's an anonymous question, so we don't know who actually wrote it. But like, if you can clarify in chat, please feel free, or to contact your community manager so that we are able to include it as part of the follow up to this session. Some of the office hours should be earlier. This Sunday last night for me, this is Sunday last night for me, and I have work on Monday early morning. Maybe you can do you can do alternate between Monday 1 p.m. and Sunday 7 p.m. Israel time, or maybe a Saturday night where it is late night the next day, but the next day is still Sunday.
So I don't know, Mara, maybe you want to get this, but Shubit, I totally relate to you. Like Tamar said earlier, big shout out to those of you who are joining from the APAC region. Thank you so much. We know it's very late where you are. Mara,
And also to people joining very early in the morning as well.
True.
We know that it's challenging a little bit for everyone.
Exactly. I can say that from my experience, when leading the community office hours project, is that it's very challenging to find a specific time that it's suitable for all around, and we really know that this is challenging for so many of you who are so passionate and who really want to follow up our sessions. So first of all, we want to congratulate you, or we want to show our appreciation for the effort that you actually do when you do join. But on the other side, we do understand 100% that you have other obligations and just are not able to join. It's really challenging both for some regions in Asia. It's very late, and also for some regions in the west of the US, and also some parts of Latin America. It's also very early. Like, we know that on a Sunday, all of us during the weekend prefer to wake up a little bit later, and it's really important, and since it's really hard to find a time that is suitable for everyone, we are always trying to find new ways that we can engage everyone. But of course, this is challenging. One thing that I can recommend all of you is to register to the office hours, even if you know that you're not going to be able to make it, because as soon as we are done with the office hours, we do publish the recording. Although we know that it's not the same because you cannot participate live, but it's still a possibility, and we can we do want to allow you all to participate anyways. We're going to move to the next question. Will the new forum fix the existing problem with uploading attachments? I usually have to try a few times to get them to load and display properly.
Yes, it is supposed to fix this issue. It has to do with it should fix the issue around attachments. But we will definitely stress this out. We know that attachments and writing the message that you want to post are critical things, and these are things that we are focusing on. Yes. Mara, is there anything that you have to add about this?
What I know is that we will have a great improvement in anything that has to do with our editor, the text editor. Sorry, the forum X, the text text editor within the forum. So, but it's not exactly text like the entire bar where you upload. You give any format and you add any attachments to your forum post. So these definitely should make a difference as well with attachments. We know that we feel the pain. Next question. Any chance that WME will allow adding photos to places or editing photos rather than only through the app? Again, it's not really about the subject we're talking today, and we did have a session about WME, but I'll let you, if any of you have anything to contribute to this question. Otherwise, we'll follow up in these sessions follow up. Dana or Tamar, are you knowledgeable about anything around it?
No, maybe we can look into it and. Okay. Hold on. I do see that. All right. So currently, it's not planned. We do know it is something that is important to you, but right now, it's not really on the top of the list.
Thank you. And I think that for the most part, let me see if we have any other question. I cannot see any new question. I'll allow just a couple of sessions. We're also kind of running out of time. So I'll just allow if anybody has any last questions before we close the session. And please do not remember not to close your tab just yet, because of course, as we always do, it's really important to hear your opinion. So we would very, very much appreciate if you could answer our office hours survey at the end. Just okay. So I think that we're done in terms of the Q&A. So I'll take just the last few minutes to appreciate Dana and Tamar for joining us today, and I will let you add any final words for today's session.
Thank you, Mauro. So yeah. Thanks a lot. It's really great to have you all here. Thank you so much for all the questions. Like, really, truly always amazes me how much you care, how amazing your ideas are. I think it would be great to have a lot of you join the efforts around the forum. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear your ideas and your suggestions. And thank you so much for investing your time.
I'm joining all the thanks, and thank you again for joining. It was a lot of fun, and see you again soon.
In October.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but in October. Okay, you guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and stay on the tab and answer a few questions from our survey. Thank you. Stay safe and have an awesome day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.